Dad got something. See, he's passing it to the chick.
Oh,
The chick
there
took
you
the
go.
food. They just lavish care on their young.
Oh, that's so
They're so
nice.
protective.
That is so neat. I'm so glad you brought me here.
Yeah,
We really
yeah.
lucked out.
We did. It's always fun to share the cranes with others.
Watching this family of whooping cranes just going about their day, it's hard to believe they were nearly extinct. But in the 1940s, there were less than 20 left. Bringing a species back from the brink of extinction is hard, but it's not impossible. It takes time, perseverance, and the right dance partner. George Archibald has been working to save cranes for over 50 years. This story actually has a personal connection for me, as my dad filmed with George for The Nature of Things 45 years ago.
Here at the International Crane Foundation in Baraboo, Wisconsin, a Canadian, George Archibald, has gathered together a wide array of endangered species of cranes. He hopes that by studying and breeding them in captivity, he'll be able to help them survive in the wild.
Ethically, we should protect the cranes because we as a species have been responsible for their demise in the past 150 years.
I'm in Wisconsin to see for myself the impact of George's work since my dad visited.
They have a nest right there,
Oh, okay.
and she wants him to come over to the nest. So she's putting her beak up and pointing towards the nest and giving this low call. Can you hear it? Sort of.
Yeah.
And now she's doing a ruffle display. And he's getting closer.
So that's communication. Her kind of plucking at her feathers is actual communication.
Yeah. Ritualized preening.
George grew up in rural Nova Scotia. When he learned whooping cranes were endangered, he wanted to save them. So he studied to become an ornithologist and co-founded the International Crane Foundation. George has dedicated his life to saving the world's 15 species of cranes, and it's required a lot of thinking outside the box.
In the early days, when people were concerned about whooping cranes, some mistakes were made in their management. Tex was a whooping crane that was hatched at the San Antonio Zoo in 1966. The director of the zoo took this little bird into his home, and it became hopelessly imprinted on humans. Well, for 10 years, they tried pairing Tex to a male crane. She had absolutely no interest in cranes, but when male zookeepers walked by, she would start dancing.
And does that really mean that she thought she was a human?
I don't know what she thought, but I know it turned her on. It was humans, not cranes. So I proposed that they would send Tex to our center in Wisconsin. When a whooping crane dance, they bow and they leap and they throw sticks in the air. So I would do the same thing.
Whooping cranes mate for life, and Tex only had eyes for George. Their relationship won the hearts of people across North America and landed George on The Tonight Show.
This has to do with a 6-year-old crane, right?
15.
15.
Right.
And female.
Right.
And you were trying to get her to reproduce, and we're not having any luck.
We worked with Tex from 1976 until 1982, and we imported semen to do the artificial insemination. Finally, in 1982, the egg hatched. We called the chick Gee Whiz, and he produced 26 offspring, and from them, about 130 cranes were produced.
You were doing this dance for years and hoping for a fertile egg, and then you got a fertile egg.
Right.
But you were the first to say, we can't have imprinting on humans again.
Right, yeah.
And why is that so important?
Because the bird is behaviorally neutered, and you want them to be like this pair, interacting and being natural.
Yeah.
And the last thing in the world you want is them to be fixated on humans.